Hello out there in Videoland, it's me again, Lazy Video Gamer. And as you know, I'm a huge fan of the Sega Mega CD, especially for Dune. But I'm too lazy to talk about this game. Instead, I show you this.
I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to make fancy thumbnails. Guess which fantastic Mega CD game could that be? It is, of course, the first NBA Jam. It's basically an upgraded version of the Mega Drive module with a fantastic sound, even more better than on the Genesis or Mega Drive, as we call it, and with a new updated player raster. Sadly, it is not longer possible to crash the board of the basket. That was a cool feature. In the Super Nintendo it did it occasionally. On the Mega Drive you can actually control it when it happens, but in the Mega CD version you have better sounds, a new raster, as I mentioned, but there is something missing. You want two things, you lose one thing. In my opinion, at the end of the day, it's a win or a win. It came with those famous halftime report videos, but on the Mega CD they were different from game to game. There were some variations in it. The game actual is very simple for those people who are not familiar with NBA Jam. It's a 2-on-2 basketball game without rules, or let me say, not more rules than necessary. It is funny because I grew up with NBA Jam and there was a sequel, NBA Hang Time, after the NBA Jam franchise, but there was also a predecessor. It was in the arcade, it was converted to the Mega Drive and the NES with some difference, and I'm talking about arch rivals. So there were arch rivals, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and then came NBA Hang On or Hang Time and NBA Hoops later on the Dreamcast. Now we have a game. When it was released, I don't give a first look or let me say second look at the game. I was not that interested in such adventure game. It's called Umemi Mystery Mansion. The story is that you and your sister go to this particular place and she's telling you the legend her grandma told her about these plants, these flowers, and the tree above you couldn't see, and that it's possible you'll be transformed in a butterfly. That is what happens to your sister. And then you come in the search for your sister to this mansion. And you hear some voices. Basically, it's a survival horror game. Survival horror / adventure game like Resident Evil, but without zombies. There are no opponents in this house. You're all alone. You only hear the voices of the butterflies. And you have to find some items to progress in the game. Sometime a key, sometime a box of matches. One fact, I think it's in my eyes funny. When I played this game first, I recognized it as a rendered CGI game. Officially, it counts as a full motion video game. You can talk about this and you can fight and argue about this. But what you can argue about is that when you're patient and wanna try this experience, it is worth it. Sadly, I must say, it is a very short game. When you know what you have to do, maybe with a walkthrough, or you already played it one time and finished it, and you made yourself a walkthrough, you can end this game in under an hour. Okay, it's funny, in Resident Evil you also can play very fast through. You get some hints, you get some tips, and maybe you can rescue your sister. It isn't cheap anymore nowadays. It costs me the new price, almost 25 years later. But as you know, I collect for the Mega CD. In my eyes, it was worth it. If you can find it for cheaper and you like such games, give it a try. And if you have the luck and live in America, the American version is what I saw a lot cheaper. That is a fact for almost every Mega CD game. So, the reason why you're seeing me here right now instead of game footage is I want to talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in this segment. And yeah, I had a copyright claim several years ago and I thought to do this re-upload and with the knowledge that I had that it appears this copyright claim when the title music was in it specific in this time, I thought, yeah, to silence it and explain it to you. That, yeah, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, of course, is a brand who is well protected, and yeah, maybe for some good reason, cause in my personal opinion, I never liked the teleseries we got, cause it is in fact a re-editing for the Western Territories series and reshot footage of this, let me say, American teenagers, and filled in the original TV series from Asia. So with the knowledge of this time frame, I changed that and I re-uploaded it, and I worked a certain time on it. I got another copyright claim for it, and I changed that as well, re-uploaded it, and then got another copyright claim, and yeah, and I gave up. But I thought, yeah, the other games are so cool, I just wanna show it to you. And before I continue with the next game, I just want to mention that, yeah, Power Rangers, the Mega CD game, is in fact a typical full motion video game like Road Adventure or Road Blaster in Asian territories, but more forgiving. So you had a live meter and you have just to put in the right commandos at a certain time when it appears on the screen. Yeah, stay tuned, cause there's another game coming.
Are you feeling tired and depressed for waiting your arcade one-up machines from the European distributor? Don't wait. Buy a modded one and get all the cool, exciting games in one. Just go to eBay and look out for Japan Arcade and buy yourself an arcade one-up modded with a Pandora's box. Pandora box 14 with Killer Instinct sold separately.
And that is it almost for today's Mega Sunday. We're coming now to the Namco game Starblade. I always thought that the game actually is called Starblade Alpha, but that's not true. The game is called Starblade. It is an adaptation from the arcade game with the same name. And Starblade Alpha was an upgraded version for the PlayStation 1 and the 3DO. But more known for the PlayStation, but it was first released on the 3DO. Okay, back to this version. It's a rail shooter. It's hard as hell. And of course, there are graphical limitations with the Mega CD. The Mega CD hasn't enough power to bring you all the glorious graphics, or not so glorious graphics, than the arcade. As I mentioned, Starblade Alpha looks better, but of course it was later released on a more powerful hardware. What you see now on the left is one of those big ships. These big ships has some grey or blue or red shaded textures. Plain, simple, but okay. But the big difference to the arcade version is that the little ships and the little bombs and projectiles are wireframe models. Okay, they fly very fast through the screen, so who cares? Back in the days when this game was released on the Mega CD, yeah, many people cared. I remembered when I saw the game first, my impression was, if I be honest, this looks boring. It has not much colors on the objects and only wireframe spaceships. Why shouldn't I play that? Nowadays I see it, of course, through the eyes of a collector or a nostalgia or nostalgic freak. And I think why I bought it, why I didn't bought it earlier. It makes real fun. Today, now, my love for shooters is bigger than back in the days. So, as you can see, you have only 3 credits. So the chance of seeing the end credit is very small. So this was it for this Mega CD Sunday. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe, leave a commentary down below, or even better, play your games. Have a fantastic time, and don't forget, the game is never over. I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to make fancy thumbnails.